Okay, that was very odd. I merely intended this to be a dodging slash avoiding U3 video, and I was gonna make phase one and phase two. I already did phase one, and then this happened, and then I saw a damage calculation video that said that the second time you actually do that knife prompt, it always instantly kills the worm here, or centipede, or whatever the hell this is. I don't even know if this is meant to be a plaga mutation. Like, the developers have no idea what they're doing with the mutations anymore. But this is on professional difficulty, and I have a level 1 knife and a level 1 TMP. The reason why I'm doing this is literally because I'm attempting to record my professional, no damage, no merchant, worse through of this pre-alpha of a DLC. And U3 Phase 1 has an absurd amount of HP. Or rather, he has 8,000 HP, but he has so much damage resilience for no reason that it gives the illusion of having like a million HP. So I was just experimenting with ways to approach phase one and get to phase two with enough ammunition to do the stupid encounter. I mean, this is easily one of the worst bosses ever made in the entire Resident Evil series. Resident Evil 4 Remilk has officially trumped every other Resident Evil product with bad bosses. I mean, I just don't know what they were thinking here. But it is interesting that you can theoretically do this encounter knife only. It's just really tedious and it really doesn't feel intentional whatsoever, obviously. But at the same time, it's kind of your only option because you have to spec into an absurd amount of damage upgrades with the merchant if you're going to even deal enough damage to beat this guy. I mean, I just don't know what they were thinking. Like, why would they design this like it's a mobile game with microtransactions, just slotting into the merchant, just mindlessly damage racing everything, rather than making a skillful, methodical encounter? It just makes no sense. And this is their idea of skillful and methodical with a level 1 knife and a level 1 TMP. And the only reason they even brought the TMP was because I knew the Visitors were spawning in this encounter, because for some reason they have to make this so-called fight even more awkward than necessary by adding in Novicidors. I just don't understand how brain dead these developers are. How stupid do you have to be? How amateurish do you have to be to design this? I just don't get it. But yeah, this is actually the first time I've ever killed this guy without the rocket launcher, because it was just taking far too long in my blind playthrough that I just had to use the rocket launcher and study this guy some other time. And now I'm literally stumped as to what to even do with U3 Phase 1, because I've already figured that encounter out. It's just a matter of not being screwed by bullshit and having to deal with this absurd HP. And then getting to this stupid encounter. It's so stupid. But this may be the method I'm gonna have to resort to with my worst through. New Capcom is literally putting me in that position because they don't know how to balance Resident Evil titles, apparently. What an absolute joke. But yeah, I was caught off guard by some moves here and there. Like, I've never really seen phase two of this encounter before, so I didn't expect that one move where he fires those pustules at you and then he immediately charges. That charge move is so bullcrap. And it's like you have to run at a 45-degree angle every time he roars and then he charges. But with his acid move, you just gotta walk backwards. Walking backwards seems to be the only consistent way to avoid that stupid pustule move, and you have to be in the middle of the arena. Every other move, I mean, why do they make it where he can spawn right on top of you and stun you, and it just looks so weird, and then you have to get behind him so that he doesn't hit you with stupid detection, because that one melee attack he does actually has phantom range on his sides. Who thought that was a good idea to make it where you can spawn right below you? With the quick time event, I can understand, but having him spawn right below you, like, he can actually spawn right below you and do his acid pustule move. He can do his pustule move at close range, and there's no feasible way to avoid it. And I have footage of this happening. It is so bullshit. It is so badly designed. This is absolutely ridiculous. I just cannot believe the number of fundamental errors present with U3. Damage spongy, tedious, so many bad hitboxes, really ambiguous detection on certain moves, and now this. This is the worst boss design philosophy I've ever seen in any so-called game ever, if you want to count Resident Evil 4 Remilk as a game. So stupid. But pretty much, guys, if you're low on ammo and you have a couple of knives, this is what you're gonna have to resort to. I wasn't even trying to do knife only. It was literally to reinforce the methods for dodging and avoiding these badly designed moves. Well, I guess I better get back to my recording of my worst through. I'm still stuck on this stupid fight, if you want to call it that, because of U3. I might have to use the rocket launcher, but I can't sell all my equipment because if I do, I won't have anything. I'll just have the rocket launcher, and then I have to do this encounter with just the knife and the TMP, probably. That's probably what I'll have to resort to, because I already said I'd be doing no merchant if it was practical, but every single part of this DLC is just not practical for an actual survival horror experience befitting for a linear game. But no, like it's now being treated like it's an RPG, a mobile game, microtransaction based RPG, just mindlessly slotting into the merchant because that's apparently the solution New Capcom is wanting you to favor, rather than actual unique strategies for each of the bosses that give them character. I mean, U3 had so much character in the original Resident Evil 4 with intelligently using your knife, incendiary grenades, and they even had that really cool hallway sequence with those narrow corridors. I mean, why would they remove that? And instead they reserve it for DLC and then hide it behind a paywall system because you have to pay $10 to buy this stupid piece of content. How does anyone defend this? And they want to call this challenging, this broken pile of shit encounter where the developers skipped the first couple of steps with designing a functional encounter. And you have to resort to the weirdest methods possible to make these encounters work. That's your idea of challenge. I am so glad that these idiots are leaving comments on my videos, because I'm going to enjoy saving them and then reserving them for my retrospective, so that I always have something to argue against in my retrospective. Anything to demolish these feeble arguments people have defending this pre-alpha. Not that I even need to, because their arguments already collapse on their own due to their own stupidity. Anyway, this is the end of the video.